I joined Make It Fly because I'd had my business for about 3 or 4 years, and without having a board, like a corporation has a board where there's lots of advisors and opinions and other ideas, I was on my own, and it was sort of like bouncing around like Tigger. I was all over the place.
I was moving in the direction of a new business, and I felt like not enough people knew who I was, and I didn't know who enough people were.
I had started my business up and was at a point where I just didn't know if this was something I wanted to continue doing.
I started my staging company 10 years ago when nobody knew what staging was. And as I developed my business, I got to a point where I really felt like I was stuck.
Do I have to go out and find new business partners? How do I find customers?
I just felt that I could not handle this growth on my own.
The challenges that I was facing on my own, I just couldn't figure out how to get out of those challenges.
The problem is when it's your vision, you're in the middle of it, and it's hard to see what other people might see.
With the Small Business Board of Advisors, I got a lot of great input.
The board has helped me really look outside my own little world and see what was needed.
By having a board and somebody I can bounce ideas off, somebody who's been there, or somebody who has a drastically different perspective than me, it's been very helpful.
It helps us to really see the big picture.
It was more than just another lens. First of all, sometimes it was just a soulmate during the more difficult times. You had somebody that you could lean on, get another opinion, call.
I think I'd still be struggling with what is my gift and what is my journey and how do I bring it to other people if I didn't have the board continually telling me these are your talents, this is where you need to focus, your message isn't clear, and that those became my challenges that I had to knock off one at a time, but not by myself.
What I've found is that everybody's got such a vast difference of experiences. They may have one job now, but their past jobs have taught them all sorts of business aspects I never would have thought of.
I couldn't believe that there's a warm community of businesses trying to help each other with their struggles, their daily struggles.
You get people answering things in a different way. When you present them, you heard them this way, and then they answer, and all of a sudden, you hear it very differently.
And it just got me out and around other entrepreneurs that are like-minded and have similar goals, and really it's a great support group for me.
When we talk about other people's business, they have a lot of the same problems.
There's maybe some parallels in your own business that you can glean some insight on.
By hearing suggestions on how somebody else solves their problems, I'll write it down and say, that's how I can help solve my problem.
I made 7 notes on things that I could learn and do in my business as other people were answering his problems.
And it makes a lot of things possible, like strategic alliances.
People bring up ideas, they bring up contacts, they bring up books, they bring up sources, they bring up testing, whatever it is they bring up. All of a sudden, I can use it too.
So I find it very helpful to really listen to what other people's challenges are, because a lot of times I'm having some of those same myself.
With a Make It Fly board, you definitely can take off the mask. No one has any kind of ulterior motives there, and so you can really move forward on issues, and you feel like people are giving you sincere advice.
I feel better about what I do now because I joined it. I'm also glad because I'm able to help others.
When you're all over the place like that, you might grow in spurts, but then you're going to have some pretty long dry spells. Make It Fly has made it more structured, therefore growth is more solid.
So to me, this is much more than just a networking organization, and it's much more than just a feedback or an accountability organization. This is more like a lifestyle organization. And people feel a sense of community, that somebody else's success feels like your own success.
And to continue and enhance that feeling of cooperative community, the Make It Fly Cafe has become a don't-miss regular happening.
Board members kept asking us how they could meet other board members, and we decided to have an event where everyone could meet everyone else. We couldn't do this in the boards because of the very strict confidentiality code that we adhere to. So we held a networking event and invited all the board members and their friends if they wanted to bring them. We called it the Make It Fly Cafe, and we've been doing it for several years now. I think this was in the very first year that we started. And people tell us that the atmosphere at the Make It Fly Cafe is completely different from any other networking event, that people are there with the goal to help one another, to introduce them to new people, get to know new people, and to help them. So they tell us that people aren't there just to sell their wares, but rather to help each other. Very different and very fun.
And to meet practical business needs, the Make It Fly e-zine focuses on entrepreneurs' most pressing practical needs.
Shortly after we started Make It Fly, we also started an e-zine. We called it In-Flight Refueling, Secrets to Small Business Success. We know that entrepreneurs are busy people, so we try in this informational piece to get to the point really quickly. We know business owners need to stay current. They need to stay on top of trends in this very rapidly changing world of ours. We spotlight different business owners, relating the challenges they're facing, how they've overcome those challenges, what they're learning. We make it practical and fun and to the point and very, very down to earth and helpful. It's won several awards, and we believe it's also very popular, but we believe that's because it's really helping people.
Call now and get involved, 720-962-8888, or toll free, 888-962-9962.